I'm Angela Majors with Debbie Safar, and we are with the Montessori Academy of North Texas. And we're located in Sherman, just about 60 miles north of Dallas and about 30 miles south of the Oklahoma border. Julie, our arrow key's not working to advance that slide. Maybe down here. Let's try. Thanks.
Oh, there it goes. Hi, everybody. This is Debbie. This is our upper elementary and middle school classes. We have added another student in upper elementary, and we will be getting 2 in January. And we all co-teach together, Angela, myself, and then Julie.
We're located in close to one of the largest man-made lakes in the country. It's Lake Texoma. This is a map that shows you the A is where we live in Sherman. The dotted line within the lake is actually the Texas-Oklahoma border. This lake was formed by prisoners of war between 1939 and 1944. It is 89,000 square surface acres of water. I mean, it's a massive, massive body of water. And when we first looked at what we wanted to do, we wanted to study zebra mussels because it's a new challenge in our area, but there just is not enough historical data available at this point. Actually, there's no data. It's something this invasive species is so new to this lake that we just don't have that information. So we have taken a slightly different direction.
Okay, the last study conducted in 1990 is about the economic impact. Here, Lake Texoma in the fishing industry, it contributes over $25 million and provides 417 jobs, so it's really a big deal in this area. And striped bass account for 77% of the total expenditures. So we're kind of leaning towards striped bass now.
And I'll go back to that 417 jobs. You know, Sherman is a town of about 40,000 people, just to give you perspective, and we are the county seat, so that's a significant impact for our area. Like I said, some of the recent issues that we've had with this lake is golden algae, which has bloomed 5 out of the last 7 winters. Some of the direct results of that is just immediate fish kill, but also the deterioration of zooplankton, which has then again affected that food supply for our fish. Zebra mussels, which has been an enormous problem, and you know, boaters are having to pull their boats out of the water, and there's a huge process to move a boat in or out of this lake at this point. Blue-green algae is something that we just saw this summer. It actually, right now, the lake water contact is totally prohibited, and that was the case since about July. So the lake itself, they are still allowing fishing, but you cannot get in the water. This lake has always had high phosphorus levels. A normal lake, normally the nitrogen is about 7 times higher than the phosphorus. And in Lake Texoma, the nitrogen is only about 4 to 6 times higher. We have had 3 floods that have broken the spillway. One was in 57, but you'll see the last 2 have not been that long ago, in 90 and again in 07. And of course, right now we have serious drought conditions. The lake level is significantly low, and so the salinity is significantly high at this point.
Okay, so we're attacking this as a challenge-based learning project, and right now our statement is, how does climate affect the population of striped bass in Texoma? And from this, our students will form their guiding questions that will take them further into the project.
It is only one of 8 freshwater reservoirs worldwide where you find striped bass. So we thought that was a unique thing, and obviously fishing is very important to our economy, so we felt like that was something that our kids can really take to a different level. There are fishing regulations for striped bass, however, and there's a daily bag limit of 10 fish, possession limit's 20, and there's no minimum length, but only 2 fish 20 inches or longer can be retained.
Okay, we had an opportunity to take our kids on a 2-day science camp, which is called a Globe, with some wonderful Globe trained and certified instructors. I'm sorry, not Globe Jolt, attorney on Lake Texoma, and spent 2 days there, water sampling, soil sampling, waders in the wetland, learning how to use all of Globe protocols, a very hands-on science camp, which was wonderful, and got them really prepared for what we're doing now with Globe.
So we're a little spoiled. We have the regional trainer for Globe is actually a Southeastern professor. So we have access to Globe trained individuals all around our community. So this was an awesome way for, we use this camp on an ongoing basis and have used this camp regularly, but they actually helped us marry this to this project. We also have brought in, the kids had a hydrology project. We brought in a stream trailer through the Texas Ag Life Extension Service that came in and showed our kids how flow of water, because when we look at striped bass, they are going to need to understand a lot about flow of water because they swim upstream to spawn. So the flow measurements are going to be very important in their research. And this is a really cool trailer. I don't know if you guys have anything like this in your area that you have access to, but this trailer is filled with crushed buttons. And then it's generated by a battery. And she fills a tank with water, and then they set up different scenarios and they flow water through. And so the kids can actually see erosion. They can see how land formations are created, and they really get to play in it and have a hands-on experience. And they set up animals and trees and houses in all kinds of different ways, and then they get to see how, you know, nature is destroyed and landforms are created, and it's just a really neat interactive way for them to experience that.
Dr. Brian Clark, one of our contributors, has really been helping us out a lot. He's the Associate Dean of Graduate and University Studies at Southeastern. He's been working with the students, teaching them how to collect and analyze the data, providing hands-on experiences, answering a lot of questions, just letting the kids go further and helping them understand what questions they need to ask and how they need to approach this, and in order for them to collect the best data and move forward with their project.
You know, technology is a big important piece, and we're really trying to integrate several areas of our curriculum through this project. We're a Montessori school, so, you know, we're doing this as a challenge-based learning project, and we have integrated multiple technology components. This is one thing that we have a school. I don't know if you're familiar with web mixes, but Symbaloo.com is a place where you can create a web mix. And we just implemented this as a school at the beginning of this school year. But if you see the tab that I have on this screenshot says Globe. So what we did is we decided, hey, our kids are going to find some great resources, and it's really hard sometimes to all be on the same page and have access to those resources. And what's the simplest, easiest way? So what we did is we created a web mix. So every time they find a resource that has measurements on it or information about striped bass or whatever it may be that we feel like may be pertinent as they can collect data, then they just let us know and we add a tile to this web mix. Well, the web mix is our homepage for every computer in our school. So every student, all they have to do is click on the Globe tab, and then if they say they want to go to NOAA, then you can see they just click on that tile and it takes them immediately to that website. So this has helped us share information in a quick, easy, clean way and keep all of our resources really organized.
Okay, we did set up our instrument station. The kids will start collecting data. We will not use this data for our project because we will have to be collecting data from the lake sites that we will be using. But we will continue to use this, learn how to use the protocols, and let it complement our science program.
One other thing that we've done this year is we took our kids out to the Zafar Ranch, which is a 43-acre ranch. They spent 1 week on an adventure. We're going to tell you more about it.
Okay, one of the people that helped us with this is Dr. Margaret A. Bard. She is our Globe U.S. Partner Coordinator. We did the climate and land cover project on the ranch, which the kids really enjoyed. We did a tree area and a barren area. They took all the measurements and protocols for that. We also had a gentleman come in, Bob Lusk. He's a fisheries biologist. He has a He's an author of books. They call him the Pond Boss. A very knowledgeable man in water and fisheries. They were able to use a lot of hands-on. They worked with the pond, were able to seine this pond, pull out the species of fish, learn about the types of species, how they can coexist in a certain body of water, how many fish you need in order for the food chain to be successful. Okay, these are just some more pictures of hands-on. The kids really enjoyed it. They oh yeah, pulling out the fish. It's amazing. We really didn't know how many species of fish were in this pond because of the drought, and it had lost so much water, but there was quite a bit there.
So where we kind of are in the process is as we move forward, by the end of the week, our students are going to have divided their challenge-based learning. They're going to have created their guiding questions. And some of those areas that we think that they need to look at, but we are going, hopefully, that they create this on their own and they can determine this on their own based on all the experiences we've given them up to this point, is that they're going to need to consider the size and weight of the striped bass population and, you know, the measurements for that, and the salinity of the lake, the flow and water discharge at the lake and the dam, the air temperature, the highs and the lows over, we're going to look at about a 20-year period, the water temperature highs and lows, and then the lake levels. And there's 30 stations across Lake Texoma that the Corps of Engineers record data from. And so we will have some good resources as far as data. We're going to use scrummy.com. So again, trying to find that technology piece. Scrummy is a resource for us to use for tracking a project. So since this is a challenge-based learning project, they will create their guiding questions there, and they will divide into groups of how they're going to attack researching and collecting the data. And then Scrummy will allow them to see which groups, where they are in that process. And so they'll be able to track how they're doing, and deadlines will be tracked through Scrummy. They're getting ready to do dissection of a striped bass. We have several other outings already scheduled, and we're going to do 3 more climate and land coverage intensive observations, again at that Zavar Ranch.
The same location. Okay, we're bringing in a program called Something's Fishy. This is offered through the Texas Agri-Life Extension Service. It's a wonderful presentation that talks to the kids about how fish coexist, groundwater depletion, the pollution, how it affects the fish, global change, which is exactly what we're doing, and the water laws. And it's really a great interactive program that helps kids understand the entire cycle. Okay. We have a gentleman, Corey Klaus. He's a biologist with Texas Parks and Wildlife that has also been helping the kids with their data. And we are going to have an opportunity to go out on an annual catch that they do, and it's for collect data for striped bass that they use for their reports, and they're really looking forward to that.
We have Brett Graham scheduled to come in. He is he's a fisherman. He does a lot of fishing in Mexico. He has a TV show, but he's a local expert. He has fished Lake Texoma extensively, and so he is going to bring some of his personal knowledge into the kids and do some hands-on activities and look at. We're going to bring him in a little bit later so he can look at some of the data that they have collected and help make some connections and relationships for them.
Okay, the kids will continue to learn the new instruments and follow the proper scientific protocol in our daily science curriculum. Like I said, we have our weather station set up. We will continue doing those protocols along with the ones that we're doing at the lake. And then kind of to wrap it up, this goes along with everything that Montessori believes in, and it's just a quote from Maria Montessori: education is a natural process carried out by the child and is not acquired by listening to words, but by experiences in the environment. And we feel very blessed to be a part of this. The kids are very excited about it, and we're looking forward to continuing it throughout the year.
Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. This has been a great presentation, so appreciate you sharing that.